Hi, my beautiful souls. I'm going to do a reading on a missing person. Give me a minute. Stormy. Hi, my beautiful souls. I'm going to do a missing. I'm getting emails. I was actually up last night. There was a missing woman. Um, a black girl from Pennsylvania, and her two children. One was 12, one was 14. And I have the light dim for a reason. But I'm going to brighten it. I want to see something. ATP. I want to see something. I have the candle burning. And I'm going to light another candle, and I have water. And I want to see this girl's alive or she crossed. Last night I was up. Everybody was talking about this missing woman. She was in her 40s, and I have the light dim for a reason, you guys. Okay. So last night I was up late. Okay, I had my pajamas on. Pajamas all day, right? I hope everybody's doing well. So this case is on Kadada Scott. I hope I'm saying her name right. Okay. Now she went missing. She's 23 years old. She's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. There's a lot of people vanishing, my friends. And thank God the lady that I had to call the state police last night, like 1 o'clock in the morning, my friends. Okay. 1 o'clock in the morning. And they found the mother, they found the 12-year-old and the 14-year-old, okay? They left a hotel and they went MIA, okay? And thank God they were found, but some people are not found out here. So, Kanada Scott, 23-year-old Philadelphia woman reported missing last week. May not be missing voluntarily, police said. Okay. So I don't know why they think these people are going missing on their free will. Okay. It's bizarre. Okay. The energy is bizarre. So while stopping short of saying there may be foul play in the case, a top Philadelphia police officer said there are troubling facts connected to Scott's case. Um, the news comes as police are actively searching parts of the 55-acre Albury um, Arboretum property in the city's East Germantown neighborhood, looking for evidence of Scott. Germantown is North Philadelphia. Um, Police Deputy Commissioner Frank Venner said investigations are soaring the area north of Washington Lane. The the department brought in new cadets to assist with the search in the canine in the heavily wooded area early Friday morning. Vineyard said Scott family reported her missing on Sunday after she left for work from the 8300 block of Rodney Street in East Mount Airy. Police said Scott's mother said she works at an overnight shift at the Terrace at Chestnut Hill, assisted living, and that's what I was picking up. Some kind of healthcare that she was working. We all have daughters. I don't care what race, what background you come from. I want to see if she crossed. That's why I'm watching the candle. Okay, so I'm just talking about her case, okay? Um, Police said Scott arrived at work in her car and left before her shift ended. So police said that Scott arrived at work in her car and left before her shift ended. So something lured her out. Okay, so she left before her shift ended. So she didn't stay the whole shift. Now I have girls. I have two daughters, my friends. I have grandchildren. And my daughter goes to work, okay? Um, and I pray over them every day that they are covered and they are watched. Please say that Scott arrived. Okay, so let me report this. So I was getting something in the healthcare, definitely was getting that. So she was working the overnight shift. I got chills right now, you guys. At the terrace at Chestnut Hill. Now this is in Germantown. So Germantown is North Philly. Okay. I mean they have different parts of Philadelphia. Okay. They got South Philly, West Philly, North Philly. Police said that Scott. Okay, so let me slow down. Police said that Scott arrived at her work in her car. So she arrived in work. She drove to work. She left before her shift ended. So something called her away from her job, and this is what I was picking up. Okay, with her coworker seeing her shortly before she left work early. So her coworker seeing her leave work early, but something pulled her out from her job. Okay, this is giving me. I'm getting chills over my body right now, and it's cold outside in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay, so I don't know if I'm picking up chills from her actual body. Okay, and I'm going to say this video is for entertainment purposes. If you guys are new here, my name is Jennifer. My page is Jennifer Felix. I'm a seer. I'm a psychic. Police said she didn't leave work in her car, so somebody came to pick her up. Because obviously, if she left by foot, okay, they would have found her. Okay, so police said she didn't leave work in her car. So her car was left at her job. So somebody picked her up. This is very interesting. And her phone is off. Scott is 23 years old, 5 feet and 6 inches, and weighs 120 pounds, police said. Vanier said police developed evidence leading them to Albury. So they have some kind of evidence leading them to Albury, Albertrum, which is about 3 miles away from her last appearance. So they have evidence, but her phone was turned off. So what kind of evidence do they have? If her phone was turned off, they don't have a body, but they know they have evidence or leading them to this area that's 3 miles away from her job, from where she last disappeared. So far, the deputy commissioner said police haven't found anything related to the investigation. So how do they know that she was 3 miles from her job? There's a lot of people going missing, my friends. I just was up late last night and I had to call the state police and state Pennsylvania police, okay, about what I was seeing about this missing black girl. She was 40-something years old and her 12-year-old daughter and 14-year-old daughter. I called the police. I pulled the energy on it to call the police to help them, and they were already found. Thank God. They were found the next day. So something took her from her job, okay? And she got in somebody's car. Now, I want to read this paragraph again because I feel like this paragraph is important. And I just want to feel if her spirit is here. That's why I have the lights dimmed down. So I find this quite interesting. She's at work. She leaves work early. Something pulled her out from her job. We know this for a fact. She didn't leave in her own vehicle, so she obviously got in somebody else's vehicle. And this statement is very interesting. The 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 police statement. Okay, the police said developing evidence leading them to Albury Arboretum, which is about 3 miles away from her last appearance. So far, the deputy commissioner said police haven't found anything related to the investigation. It is a wooded area mostly. Vonger said there's a lot of fences and activity going on in this area, so it wasn't very easy to search with a few detectives. I'm sorry. So this is a wooded area. She works in the healthcare field. She's only 23. My God. Police said earlier this week that before Scott went missing, she told her friends and unknown individuals were harassing her by phone. So who's harassing her by phone? I'm picking up something, you guys. I'm picking something up with her job. Okay. There's something was going on with her job. Okay. This I don't know why I'm picking this up. Is okay, because I'm picking up false energy here. So police said earlier that week that before Scott went missing, she told her friends that unknown individuals were harassing her by phone. The police said Friday the police are still investigating to learn more about who was allegedly harassing her. Police would not say if they interviewed any person or interest in Scott's disappearance. The 20-year-old is a social media person, as we hear. She disappeared off of social media, so it's concerning. The police said any young people today, they live without having their phones in their hands, so that is concerning, yes. Even my grandson has a phone. Left her car behind. She left her job. Something pulled her out from her job. Okay, it is certainly something that is not usual for someone who goes missing voluntarily. Police don't know if there's foul play suspect. They said they're doing all they can do to find Scott. It's troublesome missing person report. We don't know if foul play was involved, but we certainly see some signs that this person wasn't voluntarily missing. Of course, she wasn't. Why would they think that she went voluntarily missing? I mean, she is adult. She's 23. Yes, I'm getting that energy. Okay. Right away, I'm getting that. And she was working in a healthcare field. Somebody says gang stalking. But what would make her leave her job and get into somebody's car? She had to trust the people that she got into their car. Okay. We don't know if foul play was involved, but we certainly see some signs that this person wasn't voluntarily missing. I don't know why the police all go to voluntarily missing, okay? And this is a problem because the first 48 hours, the first 24 hours, I say the first 24 hours are the most important hours. So because of that, we're doing everything we can to figure out who she should contact and where she is now. And my throat chakra, so my throat chakra is bothering me. So this would be communication. She's a pretty girl. Scott's family said that they're hopeful she will still come home. I never went through this before, trying to remain calm, my composure, hoping everything works out. Kevin Scott, Kada Scott's father, said, I just want her back. It's my daughter. We're all concerned. It's going on a week. As of tomorrow, just want her back as soon as possible. Make sure she's safe. We want her back home. Anyone with information, call the police department, the Philadelphia Police Department, the 215-686-TIPS. And my throat chakra. So there's something with communication, okay? I'm going to move this candle, you guys. And I just want to pick the energy up. So she's at her work. Somebody called her out. She left her vehicle at her job. She said she was being harassed. So who was she being harassed by? I just want to pull one card on this. Because I'm getting like... And I want to know who she got in a car with. Let's just pull one card. Okay, we're not going to go too deep in this energy. Because I don't feel like we have to go too deep in this energy. I feel like, and at the bottom of the deck was missing. So she's obviously missing. Okay, and the secret card is here. So if it's meant to come out, it'll come back up again. So I do feel like something, somebody said gang stalking. So let's get more energy on this. Show me what I need to see. Show me what I need to see. I'm going to look at her picture. Because I like looking at pictures because I can read the energy. And I just want to look at her picture. She was beautiful. I think she was Miss Philadelphia. There you go, the secrets again. So there's secrets surrounding her disappearance, double confirmation, secrets. Okay, so missing and secrets. Obviously, we know there's secrets because she hasn't been found. There hasn't even been a body found. I don't know why I just said body. Is she alive or she has crossed over? This is what she looks like, you guys. She's a beautiful girl. I'm getting somebody that's very vibrant, very outgoing, very impressionable, a very girly girl, but can be also tomboyish. I'm definitely getting that. And I don't know what is she going to school for nursing? Does anybody know? I feel like she has dreams and aspirations. Um, she seems kind of like girly girl, but also kind of tomboyish when she wants to be. I feel like she plays sports. She's beautiful, a beautiful smile. You know that smile that just lights up the room? She just walks in the room and she lights the whole room up, okay? That kind of energy, okay? Very bright, very vibrant energy. Um, of course, she's young. Um, I feel like she plays sports. I'm seeing basketball here. I'm getting very outgoing, very friendly. I don't know her birth date, okay? I don't know none of that. So this card keeps want to come to the bottom. So this means accomplice and partner in crime. So this means two individuals, okay? These two cards want to come out for some reason. Okay, fraud and accomplice and partner in crime. So when we look at partner and accomplice in crime, we think of two individuals coming to agreement, okay? Obviously she got somebody's car, okay? And she's not going to get on in somebody's car she doesn't trust, okay? And I don't want to dig too much into it, okay? I want to just stay on the surface. So we're going to take this accomplice in crime because it keeps wanting to come out. I'm just going to feel this energy, my friends. So accomplice and partner in crime. So two people could have been involved in her disappearance. Okay. Somebody that is egotistical. This card flipped over. Okay. So she was dealing with somebody that's very egotistical. Okay. Or very ego driven type energy. Okay. Um, Now I don't know if she got into a cab. Um, or she got into a black vehicle. Normally nursing homes have surveillance. Okay. So I also feel with the throat chakra, there's a decision. So she left her job. Somebody lured her out. Somebody she was dealing with was in their ego, egotistical. So secrets. What's crossing the secrets card, ancestors? I'm looking at her picture. Just looking at it. What's crossing the secrets card? I don't know if she was going for nursing or some kind of business. Oh, this card wants to come out. So fire. The element of fire is here. So secret and fire. Okay, so we got secrets and fire element, and we got missing, and I have the hotel at the bottom. So did she go to a hotel, motel energy? We'll keep going on this. Let's pull another card, crossing the missing. Now this organized crime wouldn't come out, so I don't know why she would be involved with organized crime. I'm not saying she is. She's the missing female. Um, so we got missing, secrets, missing female. Okay, she's a female. We got secrets surrounding her that pertains to a fire. Okay, fire. The element of fire. Fire is also passion. So she had passion for something. I don't know what she had passion for, but she had passion for something. And it's something to do with her throat. So this is all about communication. Okay. So whatever she spoke about, she had passion for it. And it's like my throat chakra. So somebody was going to stop her from speaking out about something, I feel like. But then we got accomplice and partner in crime, and we got egotism. So there is two people that could be involved in her disappearance. And there's a cab here, so I don't know if she got in a cab or a car because there's many cars here, but I'm being drawn to this black car for some reason. Okay. So let's pull another card from this deck, and then let's pull from another deck. So she went missing. She left her job early. She obviously, I feel like she got a phone call. I got this jealousy energy. Okay, somebody was jealous of her. Definitely that. I'm feeling like it's a female energy, you guys. So somebody was jealous of her. There was some jealousy here. Okay, so somebody was definitely jealous of her. Okay, of her being her. Okay, this happens all the time. People are jealous of you just for you being you. Okay. What's crossing the jealousy card, and then we'll go to another deck. This legal proceeding is going to come out. So I don't know if she filed something in the courts. My throat is being, my throat chakra. My throat chakra. So somebody didn't want her to speak about something. And somebody was jealous of her. This life insurance keeps coming, want to come out, but we'll keep going. Okay, so jealousy, and she was being watched. Okay. She was being surveillance. She was being watched. And somebody did say gang stalking, so this is gang stalking, okay? But we can pick up the energy of who was gang stalking her. So somebody was jealous of her, and she was definitely being watched, okay? Now, why would a 23-year-old girl be being watched, okay? She was running away from something, okay? Let's see, and the family's at the bottom, so let's see. What was she running away from? What was she running away from, ancestors? What was she running away from? Or running towards? Okay, this card wanted to come out. If it comes back out, it's going to come. And this is what I was picking up. Okay, this is what I was picking up. Let's see if this card will come out. I was picking this up before I even started this damn read. So she was running away from something. Or running away from somebody. Okay, that's for sure. Love. Okay. So this could have been somebody she was dealing with in a relationship. Okay. And this is giving me those this obsessive vibes here. So somebody that she was in a relationship with, because this love is here, okay, and they were jealous, okay. So give me two more cards on this. Flip these cards, ancestors. Love. So secrets surrounding love. So somebody was very passionate, okay, about her, okay, very passionate about her, okay. Strangulation, and I was getting that from my throat. So when I see strangulation, I think of cutting off that throat chakra. Okay, not speaking about it. So what I'm getting from this, you guys, let me get one more card, and then I'm going to pull from another deck. So she was very. So whoever was, this card wants to flip out. This trap energy. So she felt trapped. So what I'm getting from this, these cards that I just pulled, is it could be somebody she was dating. Um, and the reason why I say that is because of the love card and this surveillance card. And somebody was jealous of her. And she felt trapped. Okay. So this kind of gives me also like, but I don't know why I'm seeing a female and a male here. Okay. I'm seeing a female and a male. That's what I'm seeing. So this wasn't just jealousy from a female, it was also jealousy from a male. So I don't know if she met a man and he was dating somebody else, that type of energy. Show me what else I need to see, ancestors. And then we'll pull from another deck. Ooh. Regret. So there's some kind of regret here. Also, her intuition was kicking in. Okay, her intuition was kicking in about this masculine energy, I feel like. Okay. And she had regrets. And the traveling cards here. So she actually, this would make sense of the traveling because she left her job early. So somebody lured her out. I'm definitely getting female masculine energy here, my friends. Okay. The healing is here. So I just want to see if she's alive or she's dead. This card just flipped, but I don't know. So somebody cleaned up something. Okay. And this would be over here with this jealous energy, this trap energy, this surveillance. So they were actually like really watching her. Okay. She felt trapped in a situation. And somebody was very jealous of her. Okay. That's double confirmation. Okay. And trap, her energy felt trapped. Her intuition was kicking in about these people, I feel like. So we're gonna get more on these people. So I just feel like we're gonna get that couple, or we're gonna get like the lover's energy. I don't know why. So I feel like she was running away. She had regret. That's why she's missing. She's running away from somebody. Okay. Will she be found? Um, I don't know. And the reason why I say that is because of this trap energy and this strangulation energy, that throat chakra. So somebody wanted to shut her up. Okay. Um, and she was very passionate about whatever she believed in. And she did travel. This is a confirmation. And there goes the male energy. Okay. So there's a male that's involved in this. Okay. Somebody will be going to jail. This imprisonment card. So somebody's definitely going to jail for this. I just need to know if she's alive. I feel like a male lured her out, but I also feel like a female's involved. Okay, hold on, that card flipped. If it's meant to be, it'll flip again. I just want to see if her spirit shows up. If she's still alive. She keeps showing me the family, her home. This is interesting. So a male is involved in her disappearance in some way. Okay. Show me more about this male. This male energy. Show me more about this male energy. Oh. I can't even see. There. Okay, journey. So this male came to pick her up. There was a male that came to pick her up. That's where I was getting at. And I was saying that. A male came and picked her up. Now, I did say red, but I said black, but the car could have been red. Okay. So a male picked her up. Okay, a male. So that's who we need to be looking for, the male. Now this male she could have been involved with. Today is the 12th. Did she go missing on the 10th? I think she went 10th. There goes that female. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. So what I'm seeing is when I see the male and female, so something could come out by the 12th. And today's the 12th. Today's the 12th. Today. 10 12. 10 12. And these two cards is this is somebody she was seeing, she was dating, my friends. Okay, so this kind of reminds me of the domestic violence situation. Okay, obsessive. Okay, a male was obsessed with her. Okay, and he lured her out with this message. Okay, the message in the phone. You see the phone, and he lured her out. Okay, it's this male. I feel like it's male. Now something could be. We got 10 12 and we got 10 17. So when you see the male and the female, this is a couple, my friend. Now, was a couple involved? Let's see if couple card comes out. We definitely got male and female here. So this means somebody she could have been dealing with in a love relationship. Let's see if we get love or anything like that. But this is giving me domestic violence type energy. And the phone is, if you see in this picture, the phone is, where's the phone at here? So there was a message that she got in, and that's what lured her out from her job. Okay, double confirmation of that. I don't know if this girl's alive because, and I don't want to say that just right off the bat because I want to give this energy some time. I don't know why I'm getting this bad health. She got a message of concern. That's why she left. We know that double confirmation of message. Now this is very interesting. Let me stop here. So we got 10 12. We got 10 21. We got 10 10. And we got 10 17. And we got 10 14. So by October 14th, October 12th, which is today, October 17th, right, this way. Sorry. October 17th, I'm sorry, guys. Okay. And October 21st, we will have some information. Okay. And October 29th is out here. Okay. So male and female could have been somebody she was seeing. And he lured her out with a message. So he sent her a message and she came out her job. That's why she left her car there. I believe she was going to come back to her job. Okay. She wasn't going to obviously leave her car there. And the reason why I say that is because of the journey card. Okay. And she got a message. I feel like somebody will be going to jail, or this is somebody that has a criminal record too with this imprisonment card. And her occupation, I told you. So her occupation. So I don't know if she was seeing somebody on the job. Something with her occupation too is here. So, and this is what I was picking up. Something with her job. So her occupation, she was at her work when she was lured out. And this makes sense because she's working and somebody lured her out, right? Journey, right? She got in the vehicle. And she traveled. If she is past, she might be in some wooded area and they're looking in the right direction. She could be 3 miles away. Okay. 12 miles away. 10 miles away. 7 miles away. 14 miles away. 29 miles away or 34 miles away. Okay. I just want to see, there's something with her occupation here. This could just be that she was lured out from her job. Okay. But I was getting occupation. Okay. Definitely was getting occupation. Okay. Let's get one more card on this whole situation. Somebody she could have been dealing with was in prison before or has some kind of record because of that imprisonment card. Or somebody will be going to jail. Okay, so marriage is okay. I'm gonna shuffle this. I'm not gonna take those cards. So we got main female and main male. So this is a couple. Now, was it somebody she was dealing with? What else can I get on this energy? Somebody she was seeing. So we get lovers or courtship. This was definitely somebody she was seeing at the present time. Okay. Pathway. This is a concerning card here. When I think I see this card, I think of a crossing, an actual crossing. So she could be in the woods. If she's cross, if she didn't cross, she could be in actually somebody's car, somebody's vehicle. Okay, she could be in their vehicle, very much alive, taking a journey wherever they're taking her. Okay, let's get one more card on this pathway card, and I want to pull from one more deck. So this wealthy man's here. I don't know why this wealthy man is here. Um, so there's a wealthy man. So I don't know what she was having the police are onto this, okay? And I'm not going to leave it there. That's the police. So the police are onto it. They're investigating it. They're trying to get to the nitty gritty. And this is what I was getting. This false energy, okay? False persons. This is a female and a man. A female and a male, okay? The wealthy man, she could have been dating somebody and the guy she was seeing found out, okay? A lot of young girls this happens to. They start dating other men and the other man finds out, that kind of energy. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. Okay, I don't know why this child card wants to keep coming out. Definitely false energy. The police are onto this false energy. I don't know if she's alive because I don't want to say it, but with that pathway card, it's normally for me signatures. It's a sign of a crossing, okay? But I don't want to say that just yet because I'm feeling like her spirit is not crossed at this very moment. Okay, we got unexpected income. Why would there be unexpected income there? So I don't know if this man she was dating was into some shady stuff. And the reason why I say this is because I was also picking up that energy. So I don't know what he did for a living, okay? I don't know how he made his bread. But they need to look at her finances and the guy she was seeing at the time finances. Or maybe somebody was like a sugar daddy energy. I don't know, okay? What else I need to see? Somebody was okay. So this bad health keeps coming out. It wanting to come out. This bad health. So somebody's not in good health. Okay, so she very much could be alive. The number 13's out, so something could be by the 13th. She could be 13 miles away. So unexpected income. Let's pull from one more deck. So I feel like this is definitely has to do with her relationship. Now, I don't know why the love card didn't come out. Well, love came out, but not relationship or lovers. And there goes the lovers, my friends. There goes the lovers. So they need to find out if she was in any kind of partnership or relationship. And this could be, yes, this could be somebody she was dealing with, past, present, past and present and future. And another thing is, with this Lover's card. Okay, so a union, a partnership, sexuality, passion, values, alignment, deep love, a choice, the strength of two. So home and responsibility and balance. This is the same. And I was picking up the home. I don't know why I was picking up her home life. So this is somebody she could have been dealing with. This card just flipped. Um, I want to keep going. Let me pull another one. This person could be a Gemini or air sign, a Libra. Gemini. Okay, so difficult decisions, and this is where I was going. Difficult decision, weighing options. So I'm not going to say this girl has passed. I'm not going to say that until we keep going on to this energy. Okay, I'm not saying that. Yes, or jealous partner. I have to turn the light on, my friends. Weighing options, avoidance, and deadlock. So the if you see this card, this would be the swords energy, right? So this is Libra. There, I was saying air, definitely air. So she could have been dealing with a Libra, or she's a Libra, or some kind of air sign here. So when you see the two swords, she's blind. She's blindfolded. She has this all white on, and she has her swords up, ready to defend herself. But she can't see who's coming for her. But she knows that this person is coming for her. And in the back of it is this water energy. This water is about, so when I see water, is about emotions. Okay. So she had difficult situations, weighing options, avoidance, and deadlock. Okay. So it's like you're blindfolded. There goes the Emperor. Okay. So she could have been dealing with a fire sign. The Emperor is somebody that's respected, leadership, rules, and power, authority, father figure, protection, control, discipline, focus, and practical. I have a. I don't want to say this, but I wonder if. See, I don't know what her home life was like, right? But normally when we get like a emperor energy, it's an older male energy. It's not a younger male energy. So she could have been dealing with a younger male or an older male. Okay, something. I don't know. The card want to come out about her home life, but I don't want to go there. But somebody she can be dealing with was 26 or 46 or even 64, or 62, or yeah, 46, 42, 64, 26, or 24. Okay, give me one more card on this. Okay, this came in the reverse. The Magician, manipulation, poor planning. Um, so she was. So this was. She was very. She was manipulated. This girl was manipulated. Poor planning. Um, insecure, lack of confidence, and narcissism. I don't believe this is her energy. I feel like this is the person she was dealing with. Another air energy here. The beginning of a project and creative adventures. Okay, so the magician is coming in the up in the reverse position. So whoever she was dealing with, this emperor, he was very manipulative. Um, insecure, lack of confidence. Normally, when you see the when you see, now this could be her energy too, because normally when you see the emperor, he's very he's has stability. So this is her energy. She was manipulated. This is her energy. I really feel like this is her energy because she was manipulated. Okay, she was manipulated. She was insecure and she lacked confidence. But She was being manipulated. Okay, because we have the egotism. So this is like somebody that's narcissistic. Okay. Well, give me one more card on this. Okay. Public recognition, victory, progress, and self confidence. So this is okay. So public recognition, victory, progress, and self confidence. So did somebody think they got away with this? Because they didn't get away with this. Okay. They did not get away with this situation. Okay. And then behind it, this is why I believe this girl was in college. I believe this girl was in college or she was studying something. Okay. Somebody could have been 64, 46. I feel like this has to do with love, my friends. Yep, the Knight of Cups. Okay. So romantic, charming. Could be this could be the person that came onto her, was very romantic, very charming. The knight in shining armor, following the heart. Prince Charming proposal. So somebody came in as a Prince Charming. Okay. So I feel like she was dealing with two different men here. Okay. I'm just saying, and somebody was very jealous. Okay. This is the energy I'm getting, my friends. I don't know if this girl's alive. There's a lot of secrets surrounding her disappearance. We got to look at everybody that is around her. Everybody that is around her. And I don't want to say right now that she's crossed. I don't want to say that, okay? But with that pathway card, that kind of reminds me of a crossing here, okay? But she could be in somebody's vehicle or she could be in a wooded area. Because the reason why I say that is because of this journey card. That legal proceeding. Okay, so I don't know if she has something in the court, like a PFA or something in the courts. Like a restraining order or something like that. You know, you get with men and women and they get mad and jealous. You're seeing somebody else, they find out and they get jealous. Okay. But I definitely feel like there's an older energy here and a younger energy. So I feel like there's an older masculine and a younger masculine energy here. Okay. And the younger masculine picked her up. Not the older masculine. The younger masculine picked her up. And I really believe this girl was in a relationship because the lover's card crossed the partnership. When you have the main female, main male, that they're a couple. Okay. So he lured her out. Now where she could be, let me look at these cards. And this healing energy, and I don't want to say it. Okay, I don't want to speak about it because I don't want to. So she was definitely run away at some point. She could have got out, ran away. She was running from him. She's missing. She's a missing female. She's in regret because of the decision she made being with this person. This is for entertainment purposes. It had everything to do with her love life. This is giving me stalker type energy. Her intuition was kicking in though. Okay, I believe there's something, maybe a PFA, restraining order, something that they're not telling us. And the police have more information than they say, my friends. Yeah, somebody was watching her. And the reason why I say that is because of the surveillance card. So they were watching her. They were stalking her. And her energy feels like she felt trapped. Okay, she felt trapped, my friends. And there's two males that just showed up in my damn reading. Okay, an older gentleman and a younger male. And this has everything to do with her relationship. Okay, somebody she was seeing. I feel like she was introverted, but I also feel like she was both. So she would be an ambivert. So she was, but I feel like she was girly girl and kind of tomboyish. But she was outgoing. Look at her small alone. Her small can light up a damn room. Okay. So I definitely feel like this is about love. Okay, definitely love. She was dealing with two different men here. The younger male energy lured her out. Okay, and then there's this older man's energy here. Okay, more established. Um, and then there's this younger energy. Okay, and then this older energy is more established. Got a career. Got himself together. Okay. Now, this is why I said this has to deal with her love, her relationship. So that's the direction the police need to go into. Okay. Um, she felt trapped, jealousy. So definitely, this is giving me obsessive vibes here. Cleanup. Now, cleanup. When I say cleanup, that means you like cleaning up the evidence. Something could have been put on fire. Some kind of evidence could have been, yes, narcissistic. Okay. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. So cleanup means they cleaned up something. Okay. And the element of fire is here, my friends. Okay. And the reason I dim the light is because I want to see if her spirit comes through. Okay, and sometimes the spirits they don't come their souls don't come through right away. Okay, and she could be very much alive, and that's why I said I don't want to say if she's alive or she's crossed. But with that pathway card, that shows me a crossing. Okay, that's normally my cue for crossing. Okay, but something was covered up. So, and the element of fire was here, and also chemical. This could be like, I don't know, bleach or something. I don't know, but somebody was jealous. So this is giving me like and she was in regret for choosing this person. Okay, and there's secrets. Okay, now this older man could have been a secret. Nobody could have knew about this older man. I don't know. Okay, um, but false persons. This older man could have been married. He could have been a married man. I'm just saying. The officers know more than they're saying. Okay, and that's okay because you don't want to give up everything of the case until you get the actual people, okay, that were involved. I don't know why I say people because there's actually two people involved in this. Somebody could have did jail time. But what's throwing me off is the unexpected income. That's what's throwing me off. Now, was the older man give her money? Like a sugar daddy type energy, That happens when you're younger. You meet older men, they're sugar daddies. People have sugar daddies, okay? There's nothing wrong with having sugar daddies. But you gotta know what comes with it, okay? Just saying that if you choose to have sugar daddies, that's on y'all, okay? But this is what I'm seeing. But the bad health. So I don't know if she's wounded or this mess with her mental. Because I definitely feel like this mess with her mental, okay? Because she wanted out of this. Now the occupation makes sense because she was at her job when she left, and if you look at the occupation, it was at nighttime. So yes, that's true. All that is true. Um, Okie dokie. I hope you have the strength to leave your narcissistic husband. And the reason why I say this is because my niece's mom was murdered from her husband. So if you can get out, get out. They have programs for you to get out. Okay, I know you might not want to go into a shelter, or if you have people that you can trust, that you can go stay with them. Get out. And the reason why I say get out is because you don't want to wind up dead. Okay, you don't. So the magician is the one that plays tricks, right? The magician is as above, so below, right? So this trickster energy that surrounding this manipulation energy was surrounding her. So this is not her energy. This is a person's energy that took her. Okay, this narcissistic. And when you're young, you do have some insecurities. I don't really want to say that she's crossed though, because the reason why I say that is because the horses. There's a lot of movement here. A lot of movement. And somebody's going to have public recognition of victory, prosperity, and self confidence. So, does this person think they already got away with this? Um, Somebody said it could be a cab driver. Now, the cab driver energy was here in this card. You guys can help me try to solve this. I have no problem with that. I don't have all the answers. I don't feel her energy as far as I'm not getting like a definitely yes or definitely no. I'm not getting that. Okay. And I can't sit here and say I'm getting that. I'm afraid of him. Then you need to leave. Some people stay in relationships because of finances. Stay in relationship because of kids. Okie dokie, you need to leave. I'm afraid. I'm so afraid of him. Then you need to leave. You need to find a time where you're away from him or he leaves, and what you shoot. If you got to leave what's on your back, leave what's on your back. You will get a place. You will get clothes. You will get all that. Okay. Get some help. Okay. My niece's mom was murdered, my friends, by her own husband. Okay. They have domestic violence shelters. Not all shelters are bad. Okay. Domestic violence shelters, they have them in every state, and every, and you can, and I feel like you need to go out of your states. Okay. But they don't even know where the domestic shelters are because they're not the address is not like given out to people. Okay, because they know these people are fleeing a domestic violence situation. Okay, I wish Melissa had the chance to get away from her husband. And she was going to leave her husband. And she felt something that day, the night before, because she called her sister over. I don't think right now when she gets counseling, she needs to get counseling when she's out of the situation. Okay? Get some counseling before you take. No, she needs to get out of the situation and then seek the counseling. Okay? I will find a way, but in Australia, it's complicated because I can't leave my kids. Girl, if you gotta take your kids, obviously take your kids. Don't leave your kids. Um, oh, you lost my kids. Oh, I'm so sorry. And see, when you're dealing with people that have money, wealthy men, it's hard to get away because they use the kids as leverage. I'm sorry if they lost your kids. That's okay. I'm sorry that you lost your kids. You need to fight for them. Don't give up on them. Okay, don't give up on them. I was in a domestic violence situation when I was younger. I don't talk about it, but I set him up to take the kids, and I had to go to court, and the judge was like, "Bring the kids back to the state of Pennsylvania." I was like, "That's not happening." Okay, and I went and got a lawyer and everything, and I won the case. I got physical, and he got partial custody. Okay, and I set him up to take the kids because he had my son, and he had both of them at the time, and my aunt, she, God rest her soul, she passed away, and my mom, we were like, oh, we're gonna come bring them some stuff, and that's when we snatched a my children up, and we left. And it's so crazy because in Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth, you have a child, but you have no custody of the child. And I told the judge, I'm not bringing my kids back. My kids are already on the way to Florida, and I was planning to leave 2 weeks after they were already down there with my mom. Okay, and I got full custody, my friends. Okay, when I ran away, then he will get the custody for our kids. So you need to get legal advice. Yes, you're right, Jada. You need to get legal advice first, and then you need to have a plan, like an exit plan. Okay. My plan wasn't my plan was an exit plan because he was driving around my house. He was stalking me. I was young. Okay. I had PFA restraining orders, but they can't protect you. Okay. The police ain't going to be there standing in front of your door protecting you. Okay, at PFA, they're still going to come into your space. Okay, so I think you need to get legal advice, and you have to come up with a plan to exit plan, and don't let Nobody really know unless you can really trust them. Okay, like my mom and my aunt, they were my ride or diers. Okay, because in the state of Pennsylvania, I had my children, and I had no custody. You have a child in the state of Pennsylvania, you have no custody. So the dad decides to take your child, and this is what happened, and keep the child. And I'm calling the police. Like, I want my children. They're like, you gotta go. This is civil. You have to go to court. So I called and I said I have. So I came up with a plan. I said I called and I have some stuff to drop off for the kids. As soon as he turned his back, we grabbed them and we left. And then that's when he called the police. And there's nothing they could do. They said the same thing they said to me. They said to his ass, "Go get a lawyer." And he went and got a goddamn lawyer. I got served. And my kids were already on their way to Florida. I have many stories, my friends, with my mom, and I was heading there 2 weeks later. Okay. Yes, at first, but when I tell him that I want a divorce, I don't know what he's going to do. No, don't say you want a divorce. Don't get legal advice first. Okay. Don't say you want a divorce. Okay. Don't say that. Okay. You don't let him know what your move is going to be. Okay. Yeah, and don't leave your kids. If you need to get legal advice. I don't know if there's some kind of legal. And then my lawyer, she was the bomb. She was a female. She was the bomb. And I had my mom that had my back. I had my auntie had my back, and my aunt, she's not here no more. Rest her soul. She was like hitting him, and he was on the ground. We already had the kids. They were in the car, and they were gone. And I was on my way to Florida 2 weeks later. I have many stories. There's some stories I talk about, some stories I don't talk about. Yeah, you need to speak to a lawyer. You need to be strategic. Yes, in this because of your kids. Yes. And some women don't want to leave because of their kids. Okay, but my mom always says you never know what a man is truly thinking or truly feeling. He may say he loves you and all this other stuff, and you don't want to wind up dead. Okay, you don't want to wind up dead, and him raising the children. So you have to get out of this situation, okay? And you have to come up with a plan, and you have to pray about it. I have nobody, and this is the thing. This is where people have nobody, and I know situations like this. I have nobody, but I will go to a lawyer tomorrow because he has to work. Yeah, see if you can go to a lawyer and say, look, I'm in a bad situation. Okay, I need to get out of this for me and my kids. This is domestic violence. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. Please, can you help me? Okay, help me, please, because I don't want to wind up dead or my kids hurt or harmed. Okay, and if he's violent with you, he's going to be violent with the kids. Okay, so she traveled. Somebody was watching her. Okay, somebody was definitely watching her. Intuition. There could have been two people involved. I mean, they're looking in the wooded area. I don't know if this girl's dead, and if she is, she could have been strangled. Okay, I'm just saying because I have strangulation that came out. Okay, I don't want to say it, but there's also an element of movement here. Okay, and there's also an element of her intuition. Okay, so and this cab's here, so she could have gotten a cab. Okay, I pay attention to everything because everything could mean something, and I could be missing something. Okay, but I don't feel her energy, my friends. And when I say is I don't feel her energy, or I don't feel her soul, I don't feel her spirit, I don't feel like she has crossed. Okay, now maybe she has. Okay, I just don't. I'm not picking it up, and I can't sit here and fake it and say I'm picking it up because I'm not. Okay, I'm not feeling that. Okay, there's definitely secrets. Okie dokie, I'm gonna be praying for you. Can you inbox me, okie dokie? I'm going to set a petition for you and pray for you. Any woman that's going through any kind of domestic violence situation, I am going to be praying for you. That you are free. Okay, free. And even men go through domestic violence. Some men out here are being beat up. Okay, it's not just the women, it's the men too. They're afraid to leave. Okay, because you don't want to wind up dead, my friends. Okay, you don't want to wind up a statistic. Okay, and you don't want to leave your kids with him, because if he's obviously abusive, he's going to be abusive to your kids in some kind of way. Because my kid's father, the two oldest, he was very abusive, very controlling, very manipulative person. Okay, I met him very young, but don't tell him what you're going to do. Never tell him what you're going to do. Okay, you move in silence. Okay, you move in silence. If you were in Pennsylvania, I can give you some resources, but you're in Austria, so I mean Australia. Um, yeah, Austria. So, and that's in Europe. So you need to tell lawyers, look, go in there and be honest. Say, look, I'm in this domestic violence situation. I don't want to wind up dead. I don't want my kids to be hurt. Okay, and if you can, find a female lawyer. Okay, yeah, see a family lawyer and see a female, because a lot of men are, if you go to a man, some men lawyers that have sympathy, and some they don't. Okay, because they're looking at it in their viewpoint. Okay, but you go to a female, she can empathize with you. Okay, um, so go to a female lawyer and be like, look, I don't have money. I feel trapped. I'm in this relationship, and I don't want to wind up dead, and I don't want my kids wind up dead. But don't tell him what you're doing, Okie. Okay. Don't tell him. The lawyer will help you. Okay. Never tell him your next move. Don't even tell him you want a divorce. Don't tell him nothing. Continue to live your life as normal. Okay. Trust what I tell you. Live it as normal. Like everything's fine and dandy. Okay. You never let the right hand know what the left hand's doing. Okay. You continue like everything's fine. Okay. And you make moves in silence. Okay. And I'm going to be praying for you. So, okay, so I feel like this girl, this had everything to do with a relationship. There's an older man here and there's a younger man here. But this, with this horse energy, it's movement. With the cab energy, the car energy, the journey energy, there's movement here. So she could still be moving in a vehicle. If not, could be in a wooded area, and she could be trapped with this person right now. So she could be very much alive, because I'm not getting a crossover energy. But that pathway card, that's a card for me saying there's a crossing, okay? But I'm not going to say it. Now, there could have been an element of fire used somewhere, okay? But definitely watching energy with this surveillance, okay? So she was definitely being watched. Okay, yes. We got everybody pray for Oki. Okay, pray for Oki. A lot of women are going through these type of situations, and a lot of men are going through these type of situations, and they don't have the strength. And the first thing is getting the strength to leave, because it's not okay when a man hits you, or a man is verbally abusive, or physically abusive, or sexually abusive in any kind of way, or mentally abusive, because mental abuse sometimes is better than physical abuse. Okay, get out, get you and your kids out. But you have to have a plan. Okay, I had a plan that day. I wasn't leaving the state of Pennsylvania without my children. Okay, that wasn't going to happen. And I had a support system. I had my mama and I had my auntie. Okay, and a lot of women out there don't have a support system. They don't even know where to turn. Okay, so if women on my page have been through this, let's help Oki find the answers. Okay, and somebody said go see a lawyer. Yeah, go to a lawyer's office and say, look, I don't have no money. I'm in a domestic violence situation, and I would go to a female. I would go to a female. Women been disappearing for years, you guys. This is nothing new. Okay. Women been disappearing for years. So have men. Okay. I believe that with the accomplice card, there's two people involved in this. Okay. But you can't see their face. Okay. So this is what I'm getting from this energy. There's secrets surrounding it. And with the cop energy over here, the cops are onto something. I feel like they just haven't said it. Now, this person, I don't know if this person, because of occupation, worked with her. I don't know. But she left her job, so this makes sense. And she left it at nighttime. See? It's nighttime. I don't know why this bad health is here. She could be somewhere injured or bad health. I don't know. Okay. Pathway. I don't like to see the pathway card, you guys. Somebody's going to go to jail for this. Unexpected income. So this is exchange of currency. I don't like to see this card either. Jada said this could be a love triangle. Yes, it very much could be. And Journey, she could actually be in somebody's vehicle, okay, a regular vehicle, and the cab showed up. So somebody said cab. You guys are helping me solve this. She could be trapped somewhere. Somebody was definitely jealous of her. Somebody could be burning some kind of evidence or cleaning up some evidence because they don't want the cops finding them. Okay? And it should be very concerning when you don't have your phone. I mean, obviously, somebody's not going to leave and disappear. I mean, does some people want to disappear from their lives? Yes. But you have to have the means to disappear, right? Somebody says a caught, maybe drugs. Jen, is this a love triangle? I feel it is a love thing going on. Something with love. I didn't get drugs. I didn't get a caught. But the cards that are bothering me is a pathway and unexpected income. That's what's bothering me. And a journey. So if we look at this another way, she could be on a journey somewhere else. Okay? And if this is the case, okay, I didn't get no trafficking vibes, but it could be because of the card behind it, the distant horizon. Okay? But I don't want to think that I don't know. Let's pull a card on that. If the distant horizons comes out again, it's at the bottom of the deck. But the police are on to something. They're not saying everything, and they shouldn't have to say everything because they're trying to find the people that have her. Okay, and there's a lot of woods here. Okay, and I got mature woman. So I don't know why this mature woman's coming out. Normally when I get mature woman, this is an older woman. She might know something about this. This could be her mother's energy. Maybe her mother knows. I don't know her home life. Maybe her mother knows about her relationships. Or maybe this older woman could be auntie, could be anybody. I feel like she was seeing two people, that's for sure. Somebody's in bad health here. The police know more than they're saying. And I don't want to keep pulling on this energy. Okay, so I'm going to have to come back to this energy. Okay, thank you guys for helping me trying to solve this. Okay, I don't have all the answers, and I'm not feeling like she's cross. I'm not picking that up. That's why I had the lights dimmed. Okay, I want to see if I felt like I was getting the chills. Okay, and it's cold up in PA. Okay, but there's an element of partner in crime. So there could be two individuals in the car with her. Because there's obviously two people here that are involved in this. Okay. Somebody was definitely jealous of her. Some women are dependent with men with money. They are. I didn't get the money card out though, but trapped. She could be trapped somewhere, held somewhere. And we got strangulation. This is like cutting that throat chakra off where you can't speak, right? I'm going to come back to this energy, you guys. This definitely had to do with a love situation. Something in the courts. Okay, she would be the female. Beautiful, beautiful girl. She's running away. There's an element of cab, so she could have gotten a cab. Okay, at some point she could have gotten a cab. Okay, it's here. Could have been a jealous lover. That's when I was picking up, Jada. I was definitely picking up a jealous lover. The reason why, because the cab energy with the egotistical, narcissistic energy. So she could have left by cab. Okay. But that with that journey card is like, is she still in transit? And I don't want to keep going deep into this energy. I want to leave it where it's at. So her intuition was kicking in, and this is giving me like peeping Tom, not really peeping Tom, but stalking vibes. Like somebody driving by your job, somebody driving by your home, that kind of energy. Okay. Um, and she did travel. And this intuition and this stalking, so somebody was actually watching her. They could have been watching her Facebook, they could have been watching her Instagram, they could have been watching her TikTok. She could have put pictures up of her looking beautiful, and they could have been like obsessed with that. Like, oh, she's seeing somebody else, she's getting dialed up, she's doing this, she's doing that. You know how it is. Yes. And when you're young, you're naive, right? You got one foot in the ground, and well, they say wet behind the ear. When you're young, you're just out here playing the field. You're not worried about people's feelings, okay? Because people have feelings, okay? Um, and whoever this person is this is obsession energy. And the reason why I say that is because it's intuition card and it's surveillance, and her energy is trapped, okay? So she could be trapped somewhere, but she's in regret, okay, for even dating this person. She's missing. Okay. This is what I got. Thank you guys for helping me solve this. Um, yeah, some women are dependent on men for money. I mean, if you're married with somebody, there's different scenarios here of codependency. You know, it's good when you have your own money so you don't have to rely on a man. I always say this: women need to be independent. You should always have money saved up. Okay. So if something happens, you have that money saved up. I remember my abuela, she used to hide money. My grandfather used to bring the money, and she would stay at home. She would cook the meals and stuff, and there would be money hidden in couches, all kinds of places. And the man could have been, yes, the man could have been also depending on her for finances. So you don't know, okay? I don't get crossing energy. I'm not getting that. Okay? All right, I've been on here for a very long time. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Oh, they're messing with the sound. They're always doing something. They're always doing something, my friends. They're always doing something. And I noticed the videos that they do it the most on is they do it on all my videos. There goes the thoughts. So yes, this is somebody she was dealing with. Okay, definitely obsessive. Okay, obsessing of her. Obsessive over her. Constantly thinking of her nonstop. Okay, this is what I'm getting. Obsession vibes. Okay. So the police need to look to whoever she was seeing. Okay, because that's where the answers lie. I don't know if it was a teacher. I don't know. I know it was an older man here, for sure. Okay, but I don't know if it was a teacher. Okay. So this is what I'm getting, you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, everybody, for helping me. Okay. And the revenge card is at the bottom. Okay, so revenge energy. Okay, somebody wanted revenge. And I hope they find her. I might have to come back tomorrow and fill the energy out again. Okay? Thank you guys so much for helping me solve this and look into this. Yes, somebody says somebody could have been infiltrated in what? Influenced her. Yes. Okay. This is giving me a lot of stalking energy, my friends. Okay. Yeah, just with the deck. Stalking. Okay? Watching. This is giving me creep vibes. Okay? But obviously she was in a relationship. Okay? Look, this is obsessed. This is a man and he's just obsessing about this woman. Nonstop. Okay? And this is what I'm getting, okay? Yeah, she was Miss Philadelphia. She was very beautiful. Very beautiful girl. This is why you got to understand, like, when you get into relationships, you got to really know the person. My mom always says you never know how somebody truly feels about you. They can tell you they love you and all that, but you never know until you get into the relationship. And then when you're already in it, sometimes it's hard to get out of it. Okay? I want to pull one and see what the ancestors have to say. What does the ancestors have to say about this whole situation? And then I'm going to end this. Because the ancestors always come through. They always come through. Because she has ancestors. We don't walk alone, my friends. And then we're going to end this. And thank you guys for staying on so long. I know my videos are long. People are like, Jen, your videos are long. I go in deep. Because the reason why my videos are long and I go in deep is because I want to get to the truth, to the nitty gritty. And sometimes it takes more than one time, okay? And I want to pull this energy without using cards. Okay, so let's see what the ancestors have to say concerning this beautiful young girl. Ancestors, show me what I need to see. Show me what I need to see. What I'm not seeing. There's even like a pull. There's a resistance with this bell. There's a resistance with this bell. So I feel like this was definitely somebody she was in a relationship with. What was that? Ancestors, what do you want us to know? Kada, Scott, Philadelphia. Last seen on 10/4/25. There's a resistance here. You guys, there's a resistance here. There's a resistance energy with her energy and somebody else's energy. I'm getting this resistant energy. So there's a resistance between her and somebody else. Definitely masculine energy, my friends. Ancestors, show me what I need to see. Let's leave this reading for the higher good. Show me what I need to see for Jada. I hope I'm saying her name right. She was so pretty. 23-year-old Mr. from Philadelphia. I said Jada. It's Kada Scott. Sorry, guys. Kada Scott. So we got the Garden card here. Let's see if this card comes out. And we're using the Hoodoo deck. I don't feel like she has crossed. Maybe somebody's keeping her trapped. Because there's a resistance, a pull. So she's resisting somebody. Okay? She's definitely resisting somebody. Okay? Who is she? We definitely a male. Okay. Oh, shoot. The Mother of Knives. Okay, the Mother of Knives is here. When I see this Mother of Knives, it gives me like Easter Seal, Boulay energy for some reason. So let's see what the Mother of Knives say. People get involved in difficult situations without realizing the outcome. Yes, we all have. Nobody out here is perfect. 90. We all have put ourselves in difficult situations, my friends. Okay? So the Mother Knights is depicted here as a member of two prestigious secret societies: the Grand Union Order of the Odd Fellows and the Order of the Eastern Stars. In addition to the church, mutual aid, secret societies, and fraternal and sorority organizations were blackbone of Black American communities between the 18th and 12th century. Unlike women of other races, Black women were more welcome to participate and were respected as powerful leaders and influences of many of their of these organizations. Y'all know about the Easter Seals, right? Um, Here is the Mother Nice and Powerful, who uses the Bible as a guide. Okay. Um, and she has a knife, and she's putting that knife on the bottle of the. I said the Bible. Okay. So secret societies, and this plant will be the rule plant. So Eastern Stars and the Black churches, the secret societies. So was her family a fraternal order, or she can come from a family of fraternal orders like Easter Stars? When I get this energy, I get Bolay energy. My great grandmother on my mother's side was a Bolay. Okay, I mean not a Bolay. Not a Bolay. Sorry, an Easter Star. She wasn't a Bolay. She was an Easter Star. Sorry, you guys. My family was poor. Okay, I come from poor people. Okay, so the Mother Nice is an architect of a warrior queen. On the positive side, she's perceived as analytical, forthright, witty, and independent. Okay, and it came in the upright. Okay, so this girl in Philadelphia is interesting because Philadelphia has a lot of secret societies. Because that's where all the secret societies came from. Okay, and the Boulets came out of Philadelphia. Okay, let's pull one more card on this. Now, was she part of a fraternal order? I don't know. I want to get one more card on this. One more card on this, ancestors. Give me true discernment for the highest good of this girl. With that knife on that Bible or that book, this is definitely occultist type energy. Okay, and then we have the Daughter of Sticks energy here. A lot of horse energy here. Okay, a lot of horse energy. And then at the bottom I have the Father of Coins. Okay, so this is also giving me like secret society type things. Okay, somebody says it could be a teacher. I don't know, but this is giving me like, and let me keep going. So with this knife, I use knives all the time. So this is like esoteric knowledge. Watch out. But this is in the Black community, not in the white community. Okay, the white community, they practice paganism. Okay, this is more like hoodoo, because this is the hoodoo deck. Okay, voodoo, or just a secret society. Okay, when I seen that hat, that definitely reminds me of like Easter Seals, Masons, but Black orders. Okay, Boulets orders. Okay, there's a lot of horse energy coming out here. Okay, so we got the Daughter of Sticks. Let's read that energy. And then we got the Father of Coins. People are like, Jen, your videos are long. Yes, because I'll try to get to I get to the nitty gritty of it. Okay, so the Daughter of Sticks is rearing up on a horse in order to change direction. Okay, the flock of birds above her forming an arrow indicates that this is the best course of action. Okay, so there's something that she definitely took action on. Okay, and I feel like this is a relationship. She had, I feel like she was seeing somebody younger, somebody older. Okay, so the cops need to look into that. Okay, so the daughter of six is all about getting pumped up to get the job done and maintaining that high energy until the very end. On the positive side, she is passionate, determined, bold, free spirit, charming, revolutionary, self-assured, and loves to travel. Okay, so she could be traveling, my friends. Okay, um, somebody says most shelters are okay for the time being. The shelters are anonymous. Yes, domestic violence shelters are anonymous. So we also got the father of coins. Let's read that energy. Um, and this is the garlic and the fenugreek. Okay, the father of coins. So this is like her energy, but I feel like she was taking action onto protecting her energy. There's a lot of horses coming out in my reading too, and she's in Philadelphia, so that would make sense with the Mother of Knives, secret societies. Okay, and the father of coins, he's on the bottom. Okay. And there's a building here. I don't know. There's a church building or oh, this reminds me of Philadelphia with this 10 of knives. Okay. And then this 5 of sticks energy, you have them gossiping. Okay. Jealous energy. Okay. You see her in the back, they're gossiping and talking. Maybe these girls knew about this relationship. Okay. The ten of knives, that's giving me Philadelphia energy. Okay. So the father of coins, and let's read the 10 of knives. Because I've been on here for a long time. um, you guys are still hanging in with me. That's why I love you guys. Okay, so the father of coins. So it's 95. And 95 can be symbolic because there's 95 north and 95 south. Okay, so the father of coins is displayed as a genie lamp and an incense burner and a mason jar oil lamp with a mystical name of Allah inside to attract prosperity. Orientalism was very fashionable during the 19th and early 20th century among the general population, and especially among occultists. You guys, I'm getting a lot of occultist vibes out. Um, while headscarves, tangents, and turbans were certainly not new to the Black American population. Some root workers began to wear more um, extravagant turbans to attract customers. It was also during the time period that more Black Americans became interested in researching and studying their Islamic, Moorish, East Indian, and is I don't know what that word is. Astashik heritage. So there could be something in this with this, okay, with Moors too. Yeah, thank God I got my kids. They were young. But yes, so we need to pray for Oki, okay? The father of coins is a perfectionist of a wealthy, successful businessman. Okay, and we got that wealthy man out with that emperor energy. Okay. On the positive side, he is effective leader, responsible, disciplined, reliable, enterprising, lucky, and focused on abundance. Okay. Um, so on the negative side, this would be somebody that gambles and has investments that go wrong, legal activity, get rich quick schemes. Okay. In this reading, if it doesn't represent literally a person with these qualities, then it represents their attributes. Okay. No, you don't tell them you're going to get a divorce. You move in silence. Okay. And this goes with men or women that are on my page. You never tell the right hand what the left hand is doing. You move in silence. Okay. Yes, my mom. I love my mother. I love my aunt. My aunt is crossed. She's around me all the time. Okay. Bless them. Yes. I love them to death. Um, the Ten of Knives. I talk to you guys about some things. I don't tell you guys a lot. Everybody been through stuff out here. Okay. Um, the Ten of Knives. And that was a long time ago. I was young. 129. And this guy showed up. Well, he's not a guy. He's around my age, a little bit older, and he pursued me, and he was abusive, verbally, physically, and mentally. Okay. Okay. So we got the white rose. The card depicts the brutal murder of a root worker and pastor of the Divine Temple of Healing. George Webster in Mississippi. Webster was accused of hexing a client, which eventually drove the woman crazy. So, did somebody put a spell on her? The Decker guy was evil with what he did with the three girls. I didn't read about that. So, I'm going to read this again because this is very interesting. So, the card depicts the brutal murder of a root worker and pastor of a divine temple of healing. George Webster in Memphis. Webster was accused of hexing a client, which eventually drove the woman crazy. So when you say hexing, that's putting a curse. Okay. Her son got revenge by killing him in in broad daylight. Her son got revenge by killing him in broad daylight. So the son killed the guy and so he was a root worker. So the son wound up killing the root worker because the root worker hexed the mother and what made the mother go crazy. Okay, so this is some root working energy here. With this genie, these lights, these knives, these books, uh, even the building. Okay, a lot of people do root work in buildings, my friends. Okay, so I think she could very much be alive. Um, they could be holding her somewhere. She could be captive. But they need to look for a man because there's some gossiping surrounding this with this card right here. You see the women in the back, they're talking, they're gossiping. Okay. So when we see this, the positive side to this is surviving a disaster, being discerning about whom you trust, learning from your past mistakes, getting saved in the neck of time, and things still sucking, still sucking, but getting better. So she might be found, or she might not be found. And when I say she might be being held right now, my friends. That's why I don't feel like, because I got a pull energy with that bell. Okay. Yes, we need not to say poor lady from Australia. We need to pray for her. Okay, because a lot of people are going through this. Okay. And it's very hard. Yes, it's very sad and it's sad when there's kids involved, Jada. Yes. So it's I wouldn't say poor lady, like it's sad. Okay, that systems are set up where people can't get help even from the government. Okay. Yes, that's what I was saying, a woman lawyer. Okay. So if we look at the negative side, the end of a cycle, hitting rock bottom, distress, betrayal, negative thinking, hard times, hospice care, bad mouthing, chronic pain, deep wounds, refusing to accept that something is over, and sacrifices. So somebody's not accepting that something is over with her. Okay, they're not accepting it. Okay, so do I feel like her energy is being held? At some point, yes. Um, and with this movement of the horses and the journey card, they need to find this girl. Okay, because she's in danger. Okay, I'm just saying. Um, because if you're dealing with a cultist here, and you have somebody with this Ten of Knives energy, um, this is concerning energy, my friends. Okay, so time is of the essence, I believe, with this girl. Okay. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me. This was a long read. Oki, I'm gonna be praying for you, Oki. Okay, I'm gonna be praying. I feel like her energy's trapped, so she can be trapped somewhere, being held captive. And the police know more than what they're saying. Um, and I just split this deck, and that same card came out. Yes, go to a woman lawyer. They have more empathy, because the reason I say that is because women understand women. True women that care about other women understand women. Okay? And we got this rural energy. Okay? So in Philadelphia, there's a lot of railroads. Okay? A lot of so I'm getting a lot of like rural energy, double confirmation of the rural energy. So I don't know if she's traveling by railroad, traveling by cab, traveling by car, but there's like this movement energy, okay? And then there's this trap energy. So is she trapped in the car with somebody she don't want to be in, okay? That type energy. So this is what I got, you guys. I'm gonna leave it here. This is the read I got on this beautiful girl from Philadelphia. Oh, young, Kada Scott. Just crazy out here, okay? Crazy, okay? Yes, we need to pray for um Oki. I hope I'm saying her name right. Oki from Australia. Okay? We need to pray for her because she will get out of this. She will get out of this with her kids and she will be stronger. Okay? Because the material things, you guys got to realize, if you're in a domestic violence situation, who cares about the material things, right? The most important thing is you and your child is safe, right? And you and your child are being loved the right way. Okay, that's the most important thing. Nothing else matters. Okay, you can get a house, a place, you can get a car, and it's hard for people that are really relying on the significant other financially. This is why money people women should always have money saved aside somewhere. My grandma used to hide the money. She used to hide the money in couches and everything. My grandma always had money. She used to hide the money. Nawala. She was always hiding money, okay? Yes, so I understand where you're coming from, okay? Oki, I had to do what I had to do because in certain states, like Commonwealth states, you have no custody of your child, okay? So Commonwealth states, you have a child, and the father can come. You can leave your. So say you're in a Commonwealth state, that would be Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Kentucky, and I think it's Boston. Okay, I think they're all Commonwealth. I think there's 4 Commonwealths. So what happens in Commonwealth states is when you have a child, the father can have your child for the weekend, right? And say he don't want to return the child. Okay, he wants to keep the child, and you gave birth to this child. The child always live with you. He gets the child when he wants to get the child. Okay, and he didn't drop the child off on a Sunday. Today's Sunday. He's supposed to drop the child off. He didn't drop the child off. So you call the police and you call the dad, and the dad's like, "Well, I'm not bringing him. I'm not bringing him to you. You're not getting him back." Okay. And the cops going to tell you this is. They're going to come and take a report, and they're going to tell you it's a civil matter because in the state of Pennsylvania, even though you may carry that baby for 9 months, you don't even have custody of that child. That law needs to be changed. Okay. That is a law that's in place in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay. So even if you carry that child for 9 months, it doesn't give you right and you have custody of that child. You have to fight for custody of your own child in the Commonwealth states, my friend. Okay. And that's how the Commonwealths work. And that it'd be Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Boston, and Virginia. And it's so sad because you carry this child for 9 months. The child always lived with you, but the father wants to be, he wants to keep the child, or the mother wants to be smart, and she don't want to drop the child off on a Sunday and return the child. So then you have a civil thing going on, okay? And you're gonna need a lawyer because the cops are gonna say, well, we can't help you. We're not gonna go and remove that child from the father because the father has a child. So then you're stressing out. Oh my God, he has my child. The child always live with me. The child got to go to school tomorrow. It's Monday, and how am I going to get my child? So you have to go through a lawyer, and then when you go through the court system, it's a long out. Um, it's time. It takes time. It can take 6 months. It can take a year before you even see the child, and then they got to prove that you're fit to even take care of your child. It's crazy. It is crazy. So there's a lot of laws that need to be changed, my friends. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me. This is to read that, and I thank you guys, Jada. I thank you everybody that was on this live and helped me. And I'm praying for Oki, because a lot of women experience this, a lot of men experience this. This is the read I got on the girl from Philadelphia. This is so sad. And I'm seeing this a lot with black women. Okay, and this has been going on a long time with black women just disappearing. Okay. Um, Now, is people disappearing off the streets that are homeless? Yes. Is a black community in many communities? There's people, they don't care if you're black, white. If they need an organ, they're gonna take it. Okay. They're not looking at your race. They're looking at your organs. Okay. If I need a heart, if I need a liver, if I need a kidney, and you have that blood type, okay, they're coming. Okay. And it's sad. Okay. Okie, I'm praying for you. Okay. Go see a woman lawyer. You're going to be okay. You're going to get out of the situation. It's going to take some time. You need to plan it out. You need to not let him know what you're doing. You just play along like everything's going fine, but you need to find a exit plan to get out with your children. Okay. Because I don't know how Australia works. But some states, when you leave and you leave your child, you have a hard time getting that child back. Okay? You got to go through all these legal proceedings, and a mother lives for her children. She's going to do anything for her goddamn children out here. Okay? If you're a mother, you know. Okay? You have that motherly instinct. You're going to do whatever you need to do for that child. Okay? And it don't matter what it is. Okay? If you got to. If you gotta set somebody up to get your child, you're gonna do what you gotta do, okay? And it really wasn't setting up. I was just saying I had him drop off some stuff, and that's when I'm trying to think, I had my daughter. Oh, and I said, oh, I wanted my daughter to say goodbye, and he had my son. That's what it was. And as soon as he let my son down, I grabbed him, and we ran out the door. It's a true story, my friends. True story. And he called the cops, his sister. My aunt was in the car. My aunt, well, she was outside the car. She was helping me. I handed him off, and my daughter was already in the car. And at that time, my mom had a red SUV, okay, and I was not leaving the state without my children, okay. And I was served the next day, my friends, to go to court. And I told the judge my kids were already on the way to Florida, and I'm heading there in 2 weeks. My job I already knew, everybody knew. And I had to get a lawyer. I had to get a legal representation. It was a female lawyer. She was a very good goddamn lawyer. And she was like, "Don't worry, everything's gonna be okay." And I already had, so I wasn't worried. He was worried. Okay, and I got full custody. He got partial custody. Okay, so if you're in a domestic violence situation, you need to get the hell out. Okay, because you don't want to be wound up as a statistic and wind up dead. Okay, and it's not good for your children, because your children grow up in a household where all this abuse is happening, and abuse is not normal, my friends. Okay, so if you think abuse is normal, it's not normal. Okay? It's not normal at all. And some people grow up in a household where abuse occurs, and there's nothing normal with abuse. Okay, if it's physical, mental, or sexually, there's nothing normal about that shit. Okay, and don't make it normal, and don't make it seem normal, because ain't nothing normal about it. Okay, nothing's normal about it. Okay, and people have lived people have lived in environments like this, and they think it's normal. It's not normal. Okay, it's not normal for anybody to get beat on. It ain't normal for somebody to be getting mentally abused, verbally abused, sexually abused. That shit is not normal, my friends. And then your children sees that, and your children think that's okay, and then they pick up those traits that they're witnessing from the mother and the father. Okay, there could be arguing going on, and they think the arguing is normal. Okay, that shit's not normal. Okay, and I was not going to raise my children around that. Okay, at all. So I had to get away. Okay, and I had the strength. And the thing about domestic violence situations, you have to have the strength to get away. Okay, I wish Melissa would have called me, because I would have had her and all the kids in the car that day. That same exact day before she was murdered the next day. Okay, she knew something was going to happen. Okay, she called her sister to come over. Her sister couldn't save her. He stabbed her, and dragged her back in and stabbed her. It's a true story. Okay, I was going to show it on my showed on my community page, she was stabbed like 90 something times. I'm not making this up. By her own husband. She's dead. Right here she is. She's dead, my friend. She's not here. Her mother's raising her kids. She was born on July 23 of 1986 and she died May 2nd of 2024. Yes, it's very awful. Very awful. She left 5 kids behind. Okay, 5 kids. Um, and one of her daughters had a heart condition, and she had 2 young babies that were twins. She was even on that talk show with that British lady, and they were on that talk show like a month before, and she was murdered a month after. So she knew that he was deranged. Okay, and the reason why I say this, when I met him, he was nice. He was reading the, you guys, he was nice and everything. I met them at the skating ring. I had my youngest daughter and my niece, because she's my niece's mother, and he seemed nice and everything, but he isolated her. Okay, she's a family oriented person. She's from Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, she's from the Caribbean, so they're very family oriented. Okay, she got a lot of sisters, she got a lot of brothers. He didn't get the death penalty, and I found out why he didn't get the death penalty. The reason why he didn't get the death penalty, and he didn't even run from the scene, he stayed there at the scene when the police came. So you know he was possessed. Okay, he was obviously possessed. He didn't even leave the scene. There was her brother wound up going to jail because the day of the court, they had the court. It was a big thing. The news people were down there. The brother jumped over the you know how you sit in the courtroom. He jumped over and went for her husband, and they locked him up because he wanted to get justice his own way for his sister, and they locked him up. It was crazy in the courtroom. Okay, it was a madness. They had to shut it down. He jumped over their family sitting there to listen to all this about how she was stabbed and all this, and the brother, he lost his mind. He jumped over the bench and went straight for him. Okay, I'm not making this up. This is out there. Okay, it's not. I mean, it's out there. It's out there. Okay, and he was angry. Yes, he went to jail. The police, they locked him up because he jumped over. He literally jumped over. You know how you're sitting in the courthouse and you just he's sitting there and you want to get to him. He jumped over her brother, and this was her younger brother. Okay, he just, I guess it was too much for him, and he just wanted justice. Okay, and he wound up going to jail. Okay, because his sister was murdered. Okay, it was a horrific crime. It was in the news. You guys can look it up. It's so sad. Melissa Sophie Cohen Ramata. This is so sad. She was born in San Fernando, Trinidad. She was here. She was raised in New York. She lived in New York. She has like a lot of sisters and brothers. She was my niece's mom. Her oldest daughter's my niece, Brianna. She's going to law school, and so sad, so sad. She left her kids behind, and she should be living right now. Okay. But thank you guys for joining me. If you're in a domestic violence situation, get the heck out. Go. Find a way and get out. Okay, you guys. All right, thank you guys. This is the reading I got on this beautiful girl in Philadelphia. Whew. I know this was a long one, but thank you guys so much. If you're in a domestic violence situation as a male or a female, because men are getting abused out here just like females. Okay, so we can't just say females. We gotta say the males too, because males are in unhealthy relationships and they want to get out. Okay, and they feel like if they get out of this relationship, they're going to be considered. If they say they're going to do domestic violence, they're considered weak as a male. No, you're not weak. You're actually strong to get out of it. Okay, it takes strength to get out of it. Okay, because you in your head you believe this person loves you. Okay, but that's not love. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me once again. This is Jennifer Felix readings. This is on the beautiful girl. Today I feel like we should find something out by the end of this month, and I gotta come back and revisit this energy. Okay. Let me go to her picture, and I'll show you guys her picture. And you can look up this case. Um, Let me show you her picture one more time. And it's crazy because it's so crazy because yesterday I had to call the state troopers, the state police in Pennsylvania, and that girl, the girl that she went missing. She walked away from the hotel with her 12 and 14-year-old daughter, and I I stayed up last night and I was pulling the energy, and I called the police, and they found her and her two children. She just started walking on a major highway, okay, and it's a human trafficking highway, okay, my friends. And they found her and her two kids, okay. I could be telling you a different story, but they found them the next day, okay. So and she was dealing, the energy I was picking up was she was dealing with the same kind of energy that this girl's dealing with, okay. So the police, this is Kada Scott, the reading I got on Kada Scott, okay. So she wasn't voluntarily missing, okay. This girl was taken, okay. Did she get in a vehicle? Yes. Was she taken? Yes, okay. So I don't know why they say voluntarily. How are you going to say somebody voluntarily fucking disappeared out here, okay? You're not voluntarily disappearing and you're 23 years old, okay. Does she have the funds? Does she have the means? Does she want to get away, okay? I don't believe this girl voluntarily disappeared. And why would they even put that voluntarily disappeared or voluntarily missing? Now, I can see voluntary missing because she's in a domestic violence situation. But the first 24 hours is the most crucial hours um, to find somebody. Okay, I'm not even saying 48 hours, 24 hours. Um, Let me show you her picture. She's so beautiful, so freaking beautiful. And this could be anybody's child. That's why fathers, if your fathers out here, mothers out here, y'all need to be mothers and fathers to your children. Okay, Kada Scott. Yeah, Kada Scott. I think I'm saying her name right. Okay, make it comfortable where they can come to you and tell you things. Okay, so they don't have to keep secrets from you. Okay, my kids told me everything, and I knew everything. Okay, you guys. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me. This was on Kada Scott. I hope they find her, and we'll come back and visit this energy. Okay, and revisit her case. Okay. Yes, she does seem sweet. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. This is Jennifer Felix Readings. Thank you guys. All right. Bye.